Hey traders, it's Cody from Samurai Trading, and I want to put together another video for you, share another week of results. And I realize I'm a little bit late on this one. Didn't do a whole lot of trading last week, as you can see, not a lot of trades, just 9 of them. I even had a day without any trades. I've got a little bit of a back issue that kind of flared up, so wanted to not spend too much time in front of the screens and not a lot of time doing journal posts, that sort of thing. But this week I've been doing them. I'll also have another review video at the end of this week as well. But as you can see here, overall pretty good. 13 points that I pulled out over just 9 trades, and that is quite a few less than I would normally ideally like to take. I like more opportunities there, but like I said, shortened days and Tuesday without any trades in there. You'll notice as well that for a little bit I had 100% wins going and almost kept that going through the full week. Now, I mention that because I want people to realize that that's not normally kind of realistic. There's some systems that maybe you can pull out, 90, 95% wins, but usually you're going to have a really lopsided reward to risk. It's going to be really hard to sustain that, particularly for newer traders. If they have, a loss or two and the losses are much bigger than the wins, all of a sudden there's a big emotional response there. It can be hard to dig out of that. So I'm usually pretty happy as long as I'm even above 50%. If I can get in the 60, 70% range, that's fantastic, because if my wins are, at least twice as big as my losses, usually they're quite a bit bigger than that, then I'm going to be in a great place as far as my edge and my expectancy is concerned. So you can see here on Tuesday, I didn't have any trades, and I was at the desk. I was looking for some opportunities, and nothing really set up for me. Nothing that fit my plan. There was a couple moves up that I would have liked to have latched onto, but there wasn't really a good place where I could latch on, where I figured I could have not only a good potential reward, but also keep my risk low. And that's what's really important for me. I want to get in at places, ideally areas of that supply and demand working in my favor, that I can keep my risk really tight and also open up those profit targets, particularly when things are moving quite well. And so nothing really set up for me here, but I wanted to point this one out, even though there are no trades, because I think that's important for people to realize. I mean, a lot of people think, well, you want to become a trader, you have to trade, you have to take a lot of trades, and especially when people are new, they almost force themselves into trades because they feel like that's how they're going to learn, that's how they're going to progress. But anybody who's been doing this for a long time will tell you that at some points, just sort of sitting on your hands, just waiting things out is the best option. And sometimes, if you're going to take any position at all, the best position is not to take one, right? And just wait it out, be patient, be disciplined, and wait until something fits your plan, because that's where most traders will hurt themselves, is when things are maybe a little bit slow or things are a little bit erratic and things aren't setting up quite the way they want. They start trying to force things. They start taking trades that are outside of their system, gut instinct trades that they don't have the experience to really be doing, and then all of a sudden they start giving back the profits that they made when they were taking those trades that fit their plan, right? So if nothing sets up for me, I'll just wait it out. I'm not going to be too concerned with it. And you can see a much different condition once we got into the following day, a lot more momentum. There was kind of a structural breakdown here I was able to take advantage of, and actually shot down a little bit faster than expected, even though we were seeing some pretty good momentum on some of these moves. So it wasn't a huge surprise to see that continue. But we have been seeing some pretty quiet market opens, and in the first half hour, sometimes even a little bit longer than that. So pretty active in here, a couple fairly good shorts. And then once we broke the structure and we were able to trade off an area of prior supply where some of that demand was coming in, then it's an opportunity to take this up a little bit higher. And I probably should have taken a profit just at the kind of safe place the first time, but when I didn't get that and there's just such a big move here, I did want to wait this out, and in the end could have even had a little bit more. But I don't really worry about that too much. I'm never really looking to maximize the profits on every single trade. It's not really possible. You kind of have to operate in a way that's going to work for you, high percentage of the time, not something where you're trying to catch every last tick and you're going to give a lot back. So if things aren't really moving, notice the difference in momentum here as things are coming up, trying to give it a chance to run into that 61.8 extension, that next area, but it's not happening. I'm just going to take the profit off the table. And then another one here that probably should have held a little bit longer. I gave myself a little bit of note on that one. It was an opportunity. This is another one I was looking ideally for a breakout, which it did eventually happen. Could have had an extra couple points on it. I did give it, a fair opportunity to make its move. I Still think I probably should have had an extra point or so on it, so that was just kind of a little reminder for myself. But overall, still, it's not something I'm going to beat myself up too much about when I take a profit off the table that I get 2 points or close to it. They could have been 3 or 4, as long as I gave the market a good chance to make its move. And if I give it multiple attempts and then I look to take that profit, I'm okay with that. Again, where people run into trouble, where I can run into trouble, is if I start taking profits off the table just right away, because I have basically a fear of those profits disappearing, of it coming back to break even or even into a loss. That's emotional trading. But if you're doing things kind of objectively, reading the market information, seeing that momentum is low, seeing that we're struggling, and you've given the market a chance to make that break, then it's okay to adapt and take that profit off the table. But we had another huge swing down, but not a whole lot of follow through here. Not too much of a surprise though, after how extended it got, that it did struggle to follow through. But still, a couple of good trades in there. Would have ideally liked to have catch this move a little bit earlier, because had I been able to catch that one, I said here that I missed it. I think I probably could have taken that down for a pretty good run just based on the way that things reacted. But unfortunately missed out on that one. And again, not really too worried about that. It is something that's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to miss out on a trade, or you're going to miss out on a big swing. And if you start trying to chase those moves, if they don't fit your plan, you're going to run into trouble, right? So you got to stick with the stuff that you've got in your plan, in your trading system, and allow that edge to play through. Not try to create trading situations out of nothing if they're not really there. And then just a pretty straightforward one here, a little bit choppier, still some pretty big swings, struggling a little bit more with some of these areas, but for the most part, just trading off of those areas once the market kind of breaks through, ideally with some momentum, looking for areas where I can find a little bit of demand so that I can enter more safely rather than just entering on every pullback. That's not really the point. You have to kind of pick your spots. You have to look for those situations that you can put the odds in your favor, that you can put that expectancy more in your favor, where you're going to have a better per trade expectancy out of those, rather than just trying to chase every tick, every possible trade. So overall, pretty good one. But yeah, not a lot of trading in here. Some shortened days. Wasn't feeling my best, but was feeling, have been feeling better this week. Been trading fairly well, although not quite the best, as good a day today. But hopefully will be a pretty good week when it's all said and done. So I'll put another one of those weekly recaps together for you guys. And if you want to check out some of the trading journals, those are on the site, and I do those for most of the individual days and kind of share some of the lessons from that as well. So feel free to check those out and comment if you find them useful. So have a good one, guys. Hope your trading week is going well, and I will talk to you soon.